Welcome, students. Today we have seen the question paper of first terminal examination. This question paper for first terminal examination has 50 marks and question paper can be solved in 2 hours and 30 minutes. It includes 4 sections. Section A, then section B, then section C. Here section B and C and section D. So this question paper can be solved. Welcome, students. Today we solve the section B of practice question paper. So section B includes 11 questions. From these 11 questions we can solve any 8 of the following question. So first of all, we have seen question number 3, the two identical rings to be rotated about different axes of rotation. One is about tangent and other is about diameter, so as to produce same acceleration. How it is possible? Answer for question number 3 will be, suppose ring 1 rotate about transverse axis or transverse tangent is, suppose this ring and here a tangent can rotate about tangent. So moment of inertia of ring 1, moment of inertia of ring 1 about a tangent is I1 equal to 2m r square. Suppose this is equation number 1. Again, we have seen ring 2, which is rotate about its diameter is, see here, this ring diameter, the rotation of ring about diameter like this. So mi of ring 2 about its diameter is I2 is equal to mr square upon 2. So here, by applying torque, we know relation torque equal to I alpha. For first ring torque to 1 is equal to I1 alpha, and for second ring torque to 2 is equal to I2 alpha. Here angular acceleration is constant. So for same angular acceleration, what happen? Torque to 1 upon torque to 2 is equal to I1 alpha divided by I2 alpha. Alpha alpha is cancel. So I1 is 2mr square upon 2mr square upon 2. What happen? 2mr square get cancel, and so that it will be here mr square upon 2. So mr square get cancel. So 2 multiplied by 2 will be 4. So torque T1 is equal to 4 into torque T2. So that angular acceleration is same. Acceleration is same, but torque is 4 times. Torque is 4 times, or 1 upon 4 times the initial torque. This answer gives us 2 mark. That step carries half mark. That step also carries half mark. The relation and torque carries half mark, and so that angular acceleration, it carries half mark. So when we represent the steps, then you can get, or you can got 2 marks for the question number 3. Again, question number 4 can be seen. Assuming and the expression for pressure exerted by gas. Prove that kinetic energy per unit volume of gas is 1.5 P. P for pressure exerted by gas. So here assuming means we can assume the pressure exerted by gas on the basis of kinetic theory of gases. So pressure is equal to 1 upon 3 rho c square RMS, where rho is density. So rho having value mass of gas upon volume of gas. So if we substitute this value of rho, so pressure will be 1 upon 3 mass upon volume into c square RMS, which is written as 1 upon 3 V m c square RMS. Okay, if we multiply 3 to the pressure, then we can written as 3P is equal to m c square RMS upon V. So multiply half on both sides of equation. If we multiply half on both sides, here 3P upon 2 will be half m c square RMS bracket divided by V. The bracket term is said to be kinetic energy of gas per unit volume. So kinetic energy of gas per unit volume, it becomes 2 on the 2, 2 on the 2, point 1 is remaining, becomes 10, 2 5 the 10. So kinetic energy of gas per unit volume will be 1.5 into pre, which is proof. So the question will be contains half mark for pressure exerted by gas, half mark for substituting the density of gas or formula and density of substitution of gas, half mark by applying or by multiplication of 1 by 2 in both sides, and half mark is the final equation of the question. Answer. So question number 4, it gives 2 marks like that steps. See here again, if we see question number 5, question number 5 will be give the difference in between simple pendulum and conical pendulum. So here differences will be simple pendulum and conical pendulum. So differences, any two differences will be required, but we can see the four, sometimes four differences can be imagined. So first of all, here simple pendulum, and here conical pendulum. So the first difference will be here practical simple pendulum is defined as, means the definition of practical simple pendulum is defined as a small heavy bob or spear called as bob, which is suspended by a light inextensible string from a rigid support called as simple pendulum. But here definition of conical pendulum will be conical pendulum is defined as a small bob suspended from a string and performs uniform circular motion in horizontal plane such that string makes angle theta with vertical called as conical pendulum. Means first difference is definition of simple pendulum and conical pendulum. Second difference is oscillation of bob are in vertical plane. In simple pendulum, oscillation of bob are in vertical pendulum, whereas in conical pendulum, bob performs uniform circular motion in a horizontal plane. Traces out a cone of constant semi-vertical angle. Means motion or oscillation of bob in vertical plane for simple pendulum and oscillation of conical pendulum in horizontal plane traces a cone of constant semi-vertical angle. So the third difference can be seen: total mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy is constant in simple pendulum, or energy is transfer back and forth between kinetic energy and potential energy, or we can write as total mechanical energy in simple pendulum is constant, but in conical pendulum, gravitational potential energy of bob beings constant may be zero. Here total mechanical energy is constant in simple pendulum, whereas gravitational potential energy is constant in conical pendulum, and total mechanical energy remains constant is kinetic energy. Means total potential energy or gravitational potential energy of bob being constant, so that total mechanical energy will be the kinetic energy. And lastly, we have seen fourth, that is period depends on, or time period depends on length of string in simple pendulum, and acceleration due to gravity. So time period is equal to 2 pi square root of L upon G. But here in conical pendulum, time period depends on length of string, acceleration due to gravity, and cosine angle. Angle of semi-vertical plane or semi-vertical angle. So time period will be t equal to 2 pi square root of L upon or L cos theta upon G. That is the time period for conical pendulum. Means each difference gives 1 mark. Means 2 differences will be right is the requirement for above question. But we can write 4 differences. So each difference gives half mark. Question number 6, that is find the expression for orbital magnetic moment of revolving electron. See here, this question can be solved in Bohr's model of hydrogen atom. Electron is revolve round the nucleus in circular orbit. Let us see. Let E will be charge on nucleus. Minus E charge on electron. Small r radius of orbit. V velocity of electron and m mass of electron. So we know that for circular motion, what happen? Electron cover a distance is circumference of circle. So velocity is equal to distance covered by electron upon time, or we can write time t is equal to 2 pi r upon v. Here this is equation number 1 or equation number A. If we know that minus E will be charge and t is time, then current is equal to charge upon time, that is minus E upon time, or we can write in magnitude, that is E upon time. From equation 1, if we substitute the value of time, so it is E upon 2 pi r upon v. If v is taken in numerator, so we can write current I is equal to EV upon 2 pi r. This is equation number 2. If we can calculate current, so we have to find expression for orbital magnetic moment. So formula for orbital magnetic moment will be I into area, that is A, or area of ring. So we can write or we can substitute I. will be EV upon 2 pi r multiplied by area of ring will be pi r square. So what happen? R get cancel, pi get cancel. So the expression for orbital moment will be orbital magnetic moment. It will be EVR upon 2. So this is the required answer. So here for time period it gets half mark. For current gets half mark. For orbital magnetic moment the formula and substitution get half mark, and final answer get half mark. So 2 marks can carries the above question. Again, question number 7, that is state the characteristics of photoelectric effect. So here each characteristics carries half mark. So we can write 4 characteristics. So characteristics of photoelectric effect as follow. The first characteristics will be photoelectric emission is instantaneous process, or we can say that instant process. Photoelectric emission is instant process because there is no time lag for incidence of light and emission of electron. So from metal surface. This is the first characteristics. Second characteristics will be for every metal surface there is a minimum amount of frequency. That is nu zero. In that case, below such a frequency there is no emission, or photoelectrons are not emitted below such a frequency. But above such a frequency there is emission, that is electrons are emitted. So we say that nu is greater than nu zero, photoelectric emission is there. But if nu is less than nu zero, there is no photoelectric emission. Okay. The third characteristics will be due to emission of photoelectrons, current is flow due to emission of photoelectrons. This photoelectric current or this current is depends or current is directly proportional to intensity of light. And finally, the fourth characteristics, that is kinetic energy of emission of photoelectron, is depends only on frequency of incident light, but does not depends on intensity of incident light. So these are the four characteristics. Each characteristics gives us half mark, half mark, half mark, half mark, and half mark. So the question carries 2 marks. Again, we can see question number 8, that is what are the application of Western-Sumter bridge. See here, there are 2 applications. Each application gives us 1 mark. So number 1, applications of Western-Sumter bridge are: number 1, it is used or Western-Sumter bridge is used for measuring or determine value of low resistance precisely. The first use will be to determine value of low resistance precisely, and second use, using Western-Sumter bridge we can measure resistance of galvanometer, we can measure capacitance, also we can measure inductance and impedance, also we can measure elastic strain, and we can also measure temperature. Each any of 1 or 2 can write, you get 1 marks. So 1 mark for first use and 1 mark for second use. This will be the 2 marks for above questions. So here, draw a label diagram for or draw a label diagram of transistor as CE amplifier. CE amplifier means common emitter amplifier. So first of all, we can draw a transistor. This transistor has 3 terms, that is middle term is named as base, upper term is named as collector, and here the third term is named as emitter. If we draw an arrow, it shows NPN transistor. This arrow is away from base. So emitter common emitter here can shows that a resistance connected to base here and a capacitor, these are in series. Across the series combination, a battery, that battery is named as base emitter, battery for or voltage for base emitter is connected and emitter is connected here. Again, across battery and capacitor, AC source or AC signal can be applied. This AC signal is taken as input. So it shows input signal. It represents input signal. So here across collector, a capacitor is connected or capacitor is connected to collector, and across collector and capacitor a load resistance is connected through a battery for collector and emitter. See here VCE, and these combinations will be earthed. So here we can choose earthing. Okay, and across load resistance output signal is obtained. So here this output signal is amplified. If input signal is like this, so output signal appears like this, which will be amplified. So this is the diagram, but labeling will be any 3 or 4 label is necessary. B for base of transistor, C for collector of transistor, and E for emitter of transistor. Here input and output is given, voltage is given, and a current, that current is base current. So transistor is NPN type transistor. We can use NPN type transistor. So these labelings gives us 1 mark, diagram gives us 1 mark. So the question carries 2 mark. Again, a question that is a numerical based question. Find or work function of metal is 3 electron volt. Calculate threshold frequency. See here, work function is given. We can write data. So work function is given as 3 volt. 3 electron volt. We know 1 electron volt is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. So here this is 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 multiplied. So work function will be 3 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. And threshold frequency, that is nu 0 is equal to question mark. But here a constant value is not given. We can write constant value, that is h. H having value 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second. So we use a formula. That formula will be phi is equal to h nu 0. If we rearrange the term, so nu 0 is equal to phi upon h. So here 3 multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 upon 6.63 into 10 to the power minus 34. So what happened? Multiplication of 3 and 1.6 will be 4.8 divided by 6.63 multiplied by 10 to the power 34 into 10 to the power minus 19. If we take a log, for numerator characteristics will be 0 point. For denominator characteristics will be 0 point. Using log, so we see 48 in 0. So 48 in 0, that is 6812. 6812. And 66 in 3. 66 in 3 will be 8215. 8215. If we subtract 5 from 12, 7 is remaining. From 11, 2 is subtracted, 9 is remaining. From 8, 3 is subtracted, 5 is remaining. From 16, 8 is subtracted, 8 is remaining. And here, bar 1. So, if we take antilog, so antilog for 0.85 in 9. See here, 0.85 in 9, it will be 7228. And in 7, 12 is mean difference, so 2 is 30 and 10 40, so it will be 7.240 into 10 to the power minus 1 into 10 to the power 15. So if we subtract 1 from 15, so threshold frequency will be 7.240 into 10 to the power 14 Hertz. And this will be the answer for given question. So here, if we write the formula for any, it gets half mark. Correct substitution gets half mark. See here, the substitution will not carry 3 electron volt. We can use 1 electron volt, that having value 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19. So here the 2 steps carries 1 mark, and final answer, it carries 1 mark with unit. So 2 marks for the above question will be there. Here again a numerical based question, that is, in common base configuration, emitter current is 6.28 milliampere and collector current is 6.2 milliampere. Determine common base DC current gain. So here we get DC current gain, that is alpha DC and beta DC. So a data will be written, that data gives us emitter current, that is IE, will be 6.28 milliampere and current IC is 6.20 milliampere. Okay, and we can find out DC current gain, that is alpha DC and beta DC. The two terms can be calculated. So first we can write the formula for alpha DC, that is ratio of collector current to emitter current. So we can write as 6.20 divided by 6.28. Both are in milliampere, so we cannot convert into ampere. Okay, so here we can use logarithm. So first, numerator has characteristics 0 point, denominator has characteristics 0 point, and for division, so subtraction is there. We can take a log of 62 in 0, that is 7924, and log of 62 in 8 will also 7980. So subtraction will be 4, and here 9, and here from 17 8 is subtracted, so 9 is remaining and bar 1. So if we take antilog, Antilog of 0.99 in 4. 4 is mean difference. That gives us 9.872 into 10 to the power minus 1. Therefore, alpha DC gives us 9.827. So, see here, into 10 to the power minus 1 or 0.9872. So here alpha DC has no unit because same current divided by current, same quantity will be there. But beta DC, it is also the ratio of collector current to base current. But here base current is not given. So if base current is not given, we can use emitter current is the total current of base current and collector current, or sum of base current and collector current. So here base current will be emitter current minus collector current. If we substitute, the values of emitter current will be 6.28 minus 6.20 milliampere. So here the subtraction gets 0.08 milliampere, that is base current. If we find out base current, so using the formula we can write collector current is 6.20 divided by 0.08 milliampere. Milliampere get cancel. So here we can divide 6.20 divided by 8 into 10 to the power minus 2. If 10 to the power minus 2 is in numerator, it get us 620 divided by 8. So we can divide 8 1 the 8, 8 7 the 56, 6 is remaining, becomes 60. Again 8 7 the 60, 56, 4 is remaining, becomes 40. So 8 5 the 40. So here beta DC also carries value of 77.5, has no unit. So current gain or common base current gain is 77.5. So in such question, see here, half mark carries base current, half mark carries alpha DC, or we can formula for beta DC, and 1 mark carries current gain. Okay, see here. Also another question, that will be a radius of first orbit of electron in hydrogen atom, or radius of first orbit of hydrogen atom is 0.53 angstrom unit. Find the centripetal force on electron. So here we can write as data. In this data, radius is given, that radius will be 0.53 angstrom unit. So we can use the centripetal acceleration or centripetal force. So using first postulate of Bohr's theory, what it is, for circular motion centripetal force is necessary. So centripetal force is equal to electrostatic force. See here, radius will be given, and we know the value for constant, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. It gives us 9 into 10 raised to 9. That will be coulomb square per Newton meter square. Or we can write as Newton meter square per Coulomb square. And here the value for charge of electron will be 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 Coulomb. So electrostatic force has value 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 E square upon R square in magnitude. So in magnitude we can written as 9 into 10 to the power 9 multiplied by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 bracket square divided by 0.53 bracket square. So we can also write as 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 1.6 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 38 divided by. So here angstrom unit is given, so 10 to the power minus 10. Here we can write as 0.53 into 10 to the power minus 10 meter. So 10 to the power minus 10 its square will gives us 10 to the power minus 20. So 0.53 multiplied by 0.53 into 10 to the power minus 20. Okay. If 20 is shifted in above, so we can write as 9 into 1.6 into 1.6 divided by 0.53 into 0.53 into 10 to the power 29 minus 38 becomes 10 to the power minus 9. So here using logarithm, numerator has 3 terms and denominator has 2 terms. Characteristics will be 0 0.0. So if we see log of 90, it gives us 9542. Log of 16 gives us 2041. So it is 4, 12, 6, 13, 1.3624. Denominator becomes bar 1 point, their characteristics. So log of 53 gives us 7243, and addition will be 6, 8, 4, 14 and bar 1. If we subtract the value of denominator from numerator, so it is bar minus bar 1, 4486. When we subtract, so here the value will be from 14 6 is subtracted, 8 is remaining. From 12 9 is subtracted, 3 is remaining. From 6 5 is subtracted, 1 is remaining. From 13 4 is subtracted, 9 is remaining. And here 1 minus 1 becomes 0, so 1.9138. So taking antilog 0.91 in 3, 8 is in mean difference. It gives us 8.200 into 10 to the power 1 into 10 to the power minus 9. 1 is subtracted from minus 9, it gives us 8.2 into 10 to the power minus 8 Newton. That is centripetal force. It also carries half mark for formula. Any one formula gets half mark. Half mark for correct substitution and 1 mark for correct answer with correct unit. So here question 12 carries 2 mark. And finally in section B, question 13 is also numerical type. That is, find the minimum speed with which car can be safely drive along a curve of radius 100 meter if coefficient of friction between its tire and road surface will be 0.2. So we can write first data. So in this data we can find out speed. So v equal to question mark. and car drives with a curve of radius 100 meter. Coefficient of friction between road and tire of car will be 0.2. Here the value of acceleration due to gravity is not given, but we can use value of acceleration due to gravity, that is 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, and so here using a formula for minimum speed, v is equal to square root of mu r into g. If we substitute the values here, 0.2 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 9.8. So here if we can multiply 2 and 9.8, it gives us 1.96, because 2 8 the 16, 1 is remaining, and 2 9 the 18, and 1 19. So 0.1 and 2. So after before 2 digits decimal point is given, multiplied by 100, it gives us 196, and square root of 196 will be 14. So minimum velocity for which, or minimum speed for which car can be safely drive will be 14 meter per second. Here again, if we write a correct formula, it carries half mark. If we write correct substitution, it carries half mark. And if we write correct answer with unit, gives 1 mark. So above question carries 2 mark.